As the Warner Discovery changes are made, as David Zaslav cutting the fat, trimming it out, and we've seen this throughout the entire company from stem to stern. But does he have eyes now on J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot? Let's discuss. Right before we start, if you hear some noise in the background, we're trying to muffle it in the editing, but that is our air conditioner. It happens to be just a very warm day, and we tried it with it off, and the temperature went up high, and the equipment tend to overheat. So we do apologize for that. Also, we apologize that we had to take down a particular video last week. That was the J.J. Abrams video. You saw it up there. Some things have changed. We had a video up talking about that J.J. Abrams deal is being looked at by Warner Discovery, the Warner Discovery deal. And, I did expect maybe some things were going to get canceled out of there. I didn't expect a response this soon. But from a perspective, J.J. Abrams just lost his major pet project that he's been working on for quite some time because it just costs too damn much. Out of the Hollywood Reporter, J.J. Abrams, Demi dead at HBO. As expected, Demi Monet will not be moving forward at HBO. The series, which marked the first original created by J.J. Abrams since Fringe in 2008, which Fringe Season 1 is the only season to watch on this show. The rest of it's crap. Has officially been passed over by the premium cable network following issues surrounding the show's sprawling budget. Sources tell that Hollywood Reporter that Abrams has made a last-ditch plea, begging, as I would say, to HBO Max boss Casey Blouse to spare the drama from cancellation. Bloise took the week to consider, but ultimately the decision was made to part ways with the series, which Abrams has sought a budget of north of $200 million. By comparison, HBO's upcoming Game of Thrones prequel, House of Dragons, clocked in at less than $200 million. Abrams was also slated to direct the pilot. For Demi, which had already changed showrunners since it landed at HBO in 2018, following a bidding war with Apple. Demi, starring Danielle Detweiler from Station 11, Watchmen, will now be shot by producers Warner Brother Television to streaming, including Apple and Netflix platforms, where Abrams and other shows in the works. Apple, where Abrams also had little voice and limited series, Lisa Story, is considered a natural home for Demi. Apple, it's worth noting that strong pursuit and overall deal with Bad Robot, though sources at the time suggested Abrams turned down the pack rumor would be worth $500 million because of his exclusivity. News that Demi has been axed at HBO arrives as Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav has been taking a hard look at all of the studio's rich overall deals. Sources say the executive who have been tasked with trimming $3 billion from the newly merged company has been unhappy with the lack of output from Abrams and his Bad Robot banner $250 million overall deal that was signed back in 2019. The lack of delivery on content to HBO and HBO Max has the creator pipeline issued for both premium cable and the streamer, making it challenging to plan budgets for things like marketing. There's currently no delivery plan for any of the Bad Robot's multiple projects for Warner Brothers Discovery platforms for third-party buyers. Abrams, it's worth noting, is working on a new Star Trek movie for Revival Studios Paramount Global, as the Warner's pack didn't include exclusivity. Desmonte is not the first Bad Robot show to get a pass from HBO Max. The streamer last year had also dropped Overlook, with spin-offs of sorts from The Shining haven't landing at Netflix after Warner shopped the series. Overlooked was one of the first of 3 shows Abrams and Bad Robot set up in April 2020 under the company's sprawling overall deal. The series remains uncast and has no timeline for premiere. Now, understand, is this the end of J.J. Abrams at Warner? It's a good possibility. This could be the beginning of the end of J.J. Abrams here. And I'll tell you, honestly, it's a good thing. This guy has ruined a lot of projects. Star Trek, Star Wars, I mean, you name it, on there. He still has a good amount of content that's still listing. I think he has a couple of DC things that are supposed to be coming out as well, which those will probably get canceled down the line. They're still looking to cut more fat out of the budget. That's $3 billion. They've just cut another $200 million out of the budget. I mean, J.J. Abrams is someone who basically, he over budgets all his productions. His stuff, the thing about him is he just basically just spends, and doesn't put out good product. And you see it already. You already see the situations where he hasn't come through with some of the projects, and the projects that have come forward are not that good. These companies are starting to realize some of these companies, like Bad Robot, are not good for their bottom line, and they need to crush them out of the business. They need to get rid of them out of their company. Let them go elsewhere and ruin another company's bottom line. Apple, if they want J.J. Abrams, go right ahead, because basically Apple is still not there when it comes to content, and most of the content that they've put there has been lackluster. How many people are saying like, oh God, I got to get Apple TV or watch the show on Apple TV? It's not many. It's not many at all. Even though Apple says, oh, we got a good amount of people, it says, show us the records, show us the receipts. Guess what? You can't, because you don't want to, because you'll show the truth that basically your site is not working well. You might have a success here and there, but not everything has been a success for the company. CW, look at the cancellations across the board on the CW. How many shows? We just had video, Legends of the Hidden Temple, the reboot from Nickelodeon that they tried to put out there, dead on arrival, and it took a whole season just to cancel it. They're not getting a season 2. This show never got off the ground. It was barely anybody watching. And that's the same thing with a lot of shows on the CW. We had a video out. The Simpsons are getting to the level of the CW. I think they've had not 1, not 2, but 3 shows under 1 million viewers this past season. Under 1 million. This is a show that used to do 2 to 3 million viewers an episode. And they're in season 34. And they're at this level. It's time, like I said, it's time for the Simpsons to go. It's time for them to cancel the Simpsons. If you're scoring under 1 million viewers, move on to something else. And that's what I say to David Zaslav. When it comes to J.J. Abrams, move on away from him. Get rid of him. You don't need him. You could probably find someone a hell of a lot cheaper and will give you a better output of product. Remember that. A better output of product at a better price. So we'll continue to monitor it. Subscribe, like, share. You know what to do. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.